So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Tracker to track an object. So first you need the video. So I'm going to open the video here, choosing egg video. Sometimes it'll give errors that don't really matter, and hopefully it loads well. Yeah, and this one loaded fine. If I play this one, it'll play a little bit slow motion. I'm now waiting for the spot in the video. So there's the egg shaker that I'm going to want to track. Right? So it's being held there, and then I'm going to start shaking it. So that's the time I want to track it, this area. So I'm going to back up a little bit. So somewhere in here, I'm going to move this arrow to say I am going to start the video here, the part that I'm interested in. Then what I need to do is select that egg. So what I'm going to do is create a new track. It's a point mass. So I'm creating a point mass. It calls it mass A. And I'm going to use Shift, Control, and you see what happened to the cursor. And then I'm going to click on it. So now I've clicked on that. I'm going to zoom in so we can see it better. I zoomed in by using a scroll wheel on my mouse. Now you can see here what it's actually trying to match. And right now it's just a blob of pink. Now there's a lot of pink in here, so I don't want to just match pink. So I'm going to grab this box right here, and that's going to increase the size of this circle. I'm going to tell it to look for something like that. So now it's going to look for a curved pink surface here and a pink surface down there. I'm not going to include my fingers in it because it'll move a little bit, most likely. I'll widen it out a little bit. So now we get more of the arc on the top. So it's going to try and track something that looks like that. So this is what it's got in the first frame. This is the match, which is exactly the same because it is the first frame. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say search next. And what that will do, it will move to the next frame, and you can see, maybe I make this a bit smaller, scoot this over. You can see there's a mark here for the 0th frame, and now it found it here. And if I search next again, now it moved back to here. Search next. Now it found it over here, so you can see it's tracking the motion. Now I'm going to zoom out, search next, found it again. That time it lost it. Now you see it's very blurry here. That's why it can't find a match for it. So I'm going to say close this, and I'm going to hold down Shift and click where it actually is. So it's right there. So now the auto tracking is not working, but I can manually say it's here, it's here. I'm just holding down the Shift button, clicking on it, because you see as it blurs, it becomes harder and harder for the computer to figure out where it's at. But I know where it is. So I am marking the positions of this. And that's probably enough. Now you may have noticed as I was doing that, it was building a graph over here. It's actually got a table here where it's marking at different times what the X position and the Y position are. And you can see it's in meters, and it has this thing as 400 meters, negative 66 meters. That's huge. So the scale is wrong. So I need to change the scale. So what I'm going to do is click on this and say new calibration stick. So new calibration stick, it says here shift click to mark. So I'm going to hold down Shift. You see the cursor changed. I'm going to click here at one end of it and then shift click to mark end 2. So I clicked on one end, now I'm clicking the other end, and it put in here what it thinks that distance is. It's 185 meters. Well, it's not 185 meters. I'm going to fix that. This thing is actually 5.5 centimeters, so 0.055 meters. When I did that, if you notice, all of these x and y values changed. So now in meters, we're going about 0.1 meter, and here negative 0.3 meters. Sorry, negative 0.03 meters. So it's a much better scale. So now the scales are all correct. You also have the option here to set coordinate axes. And what that does, this is the 0, 0 point. And if I want to move it somewhere else, if you watch, this changed. When I did that, all of these values are positive now. It's usually good to pick some specific location in the video where your 0, 0 should be. In this one, it doesn't really matter that much, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so that sets that. If your camera was tilted, you can also grab hold of this axis here and change your axes. So if your camera was tilted, you can fix that by adjusting here. So set the scale, set the axis, and then that was how you mark the positions of mass A. And if you need to, you can create another point mass, and it'll call it mass B, and you can actually track multiple things in the same video.